Hello everyone and welcome to another video. A very special one as this will be my very first top 10 video. Now, if you look back a couple of months ago when I first started actually doing regular YouTube videos, my very first one was a video showing off my collection of variant covers done by Stanley Artgerm. So of course, for my first top 10 video, I had to go with Artgerm again. So here we go, these are my favorite Artgerm variant covers from my collection. And I'm starting off with World's Finest issue number 1. We've got Supergirl, Batgirl, you can't go wrong, especially with both of them as a team. But I also picked this up as a sort of shout out because the first work Artgerm actually did for DC were a bunch of variant covers for Batgirl and Supergirl. He actually had a pretty long series on the Supergirl title. I think he did like 15 variants. Now, these are a few years old already, and I'm actually missing them. They're like top priority. I need to get them. But since I don't have any of them, and since if I had, they'd surely be in this top 10, I decided to go with this one, sort of as a replacement, but also, of course, I mean, come on, the cover just looks great. Moving on to number 9, we've got Sweet Paprika issue number 1, and of course this is a gorgeous cover, but I do want to point out some elements that I really enjoy about this. So first of all, we've got the background, and I have to give it to Artgerm. He did an amazing background here. The night city lights, just superb stuff. We've got the smaller things like Paprika's tail and the feather here, but also the most important element of this cover. He actually drew her nipples. Now, hear me out. Of course, Mirka Andolfo gives a lot of attention to that part of her character's body because that's her style and because of course she does. However, if we look at Artgerm's covers, drawings, whatever, that's not really an element that he focuses on. And the fact that he actually took the time and just look at them, I mean, the fact that he actually took the time and drew them in, had to give it to him. Absolutely gorgeous cover again, but those nipples, man, come on. Okay, moving on to number 8 here. A superb callback to John Byrne's She-Hulk. It's like she never left us. Just look at this. This is classic John Byrne in the modern era. Absolutely gorgeous. You can feel She-Hulk's attitude through the cover. We've got the speech bubble there. Again, classic stuff. An absolutely wonderful homage by Artgerm and a wonderful cover. From a classic character, we are moving on to a newer one. Here we have the variant cover for Wonder Girl issue 6. An absolute shame that DC decided to cancel the series, but of course I'm sure, well, at least I hope that they'll bring Yara Flor back. Until then, at least we'll get this variant cover. Amazing work by Artgerm here. Just look at that smile. And speaking of smiles, here we have Black Cat, issue number 1, the 4th or 5th best-selling comic book of 2019. And honestly, if we look at this cover, if we think how many more variants Marvel put out for Black Cat number 1, if we take into account the fact that J. Scott Campbell was back on Black Cat, come on, it kind of makes sense. A great cover by Artgerm here, and here we can clearly see one of the best elements in his drawings, the way he draws hair. Just look at this, absolutely superb. And of course his eyes, the mouth, again that smile, great stuff. We have Black Cat, so of course we need to have Mary Jane here. The first issue of the Amazing Mary Jane series. Just as with Wonder Girl, this ended way too soon. I really enjoyed it, and especially this cover. Speaking of classic, I mean, come on, just look at the awesome callback to that classic Hollywood style. Amazing work here by Artgerm, of course. Before moving on to number 4, I do want to give some honorable mentions, mainly because I just want to show off more variant covers. So the first one is Dark Knight's Death Metal, issue number 1. Wonder Woman looking absolutely fierce here. I mean, talk about pictures that you can hear. Just look at this. Her expression, the fire around her, her lasso glowing. Absolutely great work. Her hair, again, no one, just no one draws hair like Artgerm, and here we definitely see why. Okay, from a very action-heavy cover to a very relaxed one, I'd say. Demon Days, issue number 1, one shot, whatever you want to call it. Marvel released this series in a very weird way. I mean, the series had 5 issues. They were all released as one shots. They were all issue number 1. It was an absolute mess to collect. But I think this is actually the actual first issue. And of course, Artgerm here. It's pretty weird to see a variant cover for a series drawn by Peach Momoko. Peach Momoko already mainly being known for her variant covers, but still, again, great work by Artgerm. And we saw Wonder Woman earlier. Here's Wonder Woman, sort of, again. So, this is Heroes Reborn, issue number 1, with quote-unquote Marvel's Wonder Woman. And I know I'm repeating myself, but just look at the hair. Amazing work, gorgeous work, and the muscles on the character, just superb cover. And the final honorable mention, Spider-Woman, issue number 1, something rather new, not really new, but something that we don't see all that often, is Artgerm doing dynamic poses, and this is definitely it. However, the reason I wanted to actually put this in my top 10, however, the reason it's not there is if you actually look close, this is a weird drawing. So we've got Spider-Woman falling forward if we look at the background, you know, but then we see her hair, and it's also moving forward. And that's just not how physics work. I feel like Artgerm really took a page out of Todd McFarlane's book here and just drew something to look cool and screw logic and all that nonsense, you know? And again, this looks amazing, but that hair just bugs the hell out of me. Okay, back to the number 4 spot now, and we've got Detective Comics 1000, an absolutely historical issue. We've got Batman in the background there, but honestly, who cares when we also have DC Gotham Sirens? Is there a better team than the Gotham Sirens? I would say no, and if you don't believe me, wait until this summer and get the omnibus reprint that DC will put out. You'll convince yourself. Again, great cover here. Artgerm doing amazing work. Catwoman, Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, all of them together. You can't say no to this. Okay, now we are moving on to the top 3, and honestly, any of these last 3 issues could be my number 1. Now, I'm starting off with X-Men number 1, gorgeous Jean Grey cover. This was actually the first Artgerm variant that I got. And just look at the colors here. Absolutely beautiful cover. Again, the hair, but more specifically, the color of the hair. That red just popping out. The classic costume, the green, the background there, and again, gorgeous drawing by Artgerm. I can't believe this was the first cover that I got. How could I say no to Artgerm after getting this? Okay, moving on to the number 2 spot, we've got Wonder Woman 750, and I'm not gonna say this is a classic cover, this is an American cover. Just look at the vulture there. Come on, Artgerm clearly having a lot of fun doing this. Clearly having a special affection for Wonder Woman's back here. Again, the hair, he just can't mess up the hair, man. I mean, wonderful stuff. And again, wonderful cover. This takes my number 2 spot, just behind my favorite Artgerm variant cover from my collection. I had to give it to nostalgia. We've got Catwoman issue 14, the classic Batman the Animated Series look. Artgerm doing an amazing homage here, just taking Catwoman from the animated series and putting her on the cover. Amazing work, gorgeous work. This is my favorite Artgerm variant. This is one of my favorite covers of all time. Absolutely superb. Just look at the cat. Come on. And again, I can't wait for McFarlane Toys to actually release their DC Direct Catwoman statue based on this cover. It's gonna be amazing. And that's it. That's my top 10 Artgerm variant covers list and my favorite Artgerm variant cover from my collection. But honestly, it's not the only one. And it's not alone on that number 1 spot. Because just as I grew up with Batman the Animated Series and hold a very special place for Catwoman, I also deeply love another character. And here we have the variant cover for Symbiote Spider-Man issue number 1, a gorgeous Gwen Stacy drawing by Artgerm, perfectly capturing the character's essence, at least the way I see it. And the older I get, the more I love her. I love her character, and especially I love what she represented. That certain style of storytelling where superheroes gave us hope, and the relationships they had with the other characters made us actually feel good. We don't have that. We don't have Gwen Stacy and Mary Jane and Peter just going out and dancing. And nowadays, Peter is hated by everyone, and Mary Jane's having kids with some other dude, and it's been like that for a very long time. However, I think it's very important at least for us to at least remember that it used to be better. And if we want to remember that, I think this cover especially does a great job invoking that old school feeling. Just look at the colors here. The sun shining on Gwen Stacy, the leaves blowing in the air. This is why I love Artgerm, this is why I did this whole video, and this is why I love comic books. Okay, and that was it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, I hope you enjoyed my list. Tell me what are your favorite Artgerm variant covers. If you liked this, I also have a video showing off my entire Artgerm collection. I hope you'll check that out. Leave a like, maybe even subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.